Yeah.
Are we live now?
We are live.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I guess I'll put my phone away.
This is how we got to start the show.
We got to
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Scruffy Nerf herder.
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
I thought you would enjoy that.
That one was awesome.
Yeah, right on. Should we just get on with the show?
Let's get on with the show so I can introduce our sponsor.
And now, on with the show.
For bladder check. 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 Wait. Screw it. I'm holding it.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
Podcasting, the final audio frontier. These are the legends of Brown Squadron.
Our computer is picking up a strange signal. Here, sir, you better take a look at it.
The ongoing mission? To explore the Star Wars universe and other nerd culture topics. To seek new content and new cantinas, bars, and lounges. To boldly annoy Scruffy by making too many bad jokes. Welcome to the Hyperspace Heroes Podcast.
All right, and welcome to Hyperspace Heroes, episode 133 or 158 on the Spotchka scale. And this is Brown Leader signing in. Actually, let me.
Let's get the other one in here.
Yeah, let's get him in here. This is
Little
Brown Leader signing in. All wings report in.
You're up, punk.
Brownie 1 standing by.
Brown 2 standing by.
Right on. Welcome, guys. This is our. You missed the little soft intro we did for Marilyn Monroe was singing "Happy Birthday" to Scruffy there, and
it's pretty epic.
We have another birthday message that I wanted to share. This is an audio only, so about a little 30-second birthday wish.
Hey Beavis, check it out. We're here to wish this person a happy birthday. Okay. Well, what should we say? I don't know, asswipe. Maybe like, congrats on getting old. Yeah, you old fart. You're older than the fart that escaped my bunghole many years ago. An old fart like you ages like a fine wine. Not even all the TP in the world can cover the smell.
So,
oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was from So,
okay, that was awesome.
Yeah,
right. So, but yeah, this is episode 133, and Brownie 1 has joined us tonight because we're going to be doing our ICCC 2025 recap, or the alternate title is When Scruffy Met Katee. No.
Did you know that Katee remembered Scruffy?
Yes.
Have I mentioned that today?
Mm-hmm.
not to me.
No. Oh, hey, Katee remembered me.
Really? Wait,
Katee
Katee
Sackhoff.
Sackhoff.
Yes. Katee
No
Sackhoff
kidding.
remembered me. Yes. Yep.
Renowned actress from
Renowned
Battlestar
actress
Galactica
and
The Mandalorian.
legendary Bo-Katan Kree remembered Scruffy.
Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
I got that out of my system now. Thanks for listening.
You got that out of your system for the
All
next
right, we have been
minute.
listening to Hyperspace Heroes.
So yeah, we are. I don't know where we're going with this tonight.
I don't know.
Without DB to keep us in track.
What? TB keeps us in track?
Right. Well,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No,
it's sounding good.
Him and I derail faster than faster than a speeding train.
Yeah,
That's true.
this might be a
You're
more
the one who
organized
keeps us on track.
I wouldn't say that.
With
So-
your let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic now.
episode. Stay on target.
Stay on
Stay
target.
on target.
Stay on target.
Right. So, so Brownie One joined us. For those of you that follow us on social media and keep tabs on things, we did weekend before last. We were down in Murfreesboro or Nashville, Tennessee, attending ICCC 2025. And first off, I want to say thank you to Mike Havens, the whole ICCC crew, ECPC TV, that whole crew, Jim, Brian, Matt, Micah, and Mike the Mike guy and his crew. Just amazing people. We love running into them every year, love spending time with them. And but first off, you know what, let's Brownie One, this was your first ICCC con attending with us. What did you Carbonite?
Carbonite.
Hey.
Can't stay tonight, but I'm gonna pop in and wish you a wonderful episode. Thank you, sir, for swinging by. And no way, it's Brownie One.
Hey, what's up?
Carbonites is the one that asked for one, was hoping that you'd make the show. So just catch it on the replay, Vincent. So what did you think of your first ICCC?
Isn't it your first con even?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. First convention. I hated it and I never want to go back. I just did not have a good time. Maybe if there was like a Star Trek convention, I think I would have a lot more fun. No, I'm just kidding. No.
That was just fighting words.
no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. No, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we got to interview some really cool people. It was crazy too, just to see how much there was to explore, particularly in the room sales.
Yeah, live long and suck it.
Took you long enough to get
Yeah, it was a little bit delayed there. There was we went shopping the rooms, like the hotel rooms at from 7 or 8 to midnight, basically, because there was just so much stuff to look at, and I was really impressed. I mean, I've heard about the room sales, but I didn't realize the extent of it, I guess. So it was crazy to see how much stuff there was.
There was an epic amount of stuff. I could have spent more money, but I did control myself this year because I stayed focused.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely stayed focused.
Yeah.
Much to my dismay, because I came home with money.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right.
That's not what you want.
No,
Right.
It's a little disappointing. That's just a little I'm a little disappointed in myself, but there is always next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. What was one of the preconceived notions that you had before going to the con, and did that hold true?
Yeah, that it was all nerds.
How'd you know? I don't know. I mean, I don't really think I don't think I really had any expectations really going into it. I mean, I've heard about Comic-Con and convention, collectors conventions and stuff like that before. So I kind of had maybe an idea, I guess, of what the actual sales floor would be like, all the booths and stuff that they had set up. But I guess I didn't expect to see just how much they had on display there. They had the Turtles van. They had theory sabers. So there was a bunch of actual lightsaber hilts and stuff there, which was cool. I didn't expect to see all the just all the droids they had running around. They had R2. I don't remember. I think they had Chopper. Yeah. A whole bunch. So, and that was just really cool to watch. Check them out.
Mouse droid.
The thing I will say I probably did not expect the most was to just see Warwick Davis just whizzing by on his little
Segway thing.
Right. I don't know. He was doing laps or something, but he was sitting there on the podcast days, and I'm trying to concentrate, but there he goes.
Yeah.
There he goes.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Like it was doing laps.
Proud leader, I remember mentioned having a specific moment where we were doing one of the interviews, and he just saw Warwick going by 4 times in a row. It's like he was pulling a prank on him. Dude.
Who did he almost run over this year? Last year he almost ran me over.
I think it was DB.
I thought so. DB almost got run over by Warwick Davis this year.
That's my favorite Christmas song.
Right.
Oh, that is a Christmas song. Yes.
So we've got
Brian
just
Ewok.
I'm just getting I'm getting a signal right now. We've got one
oh.
more. We've got a messaging coming. So
Oh boy.
my God, what?
Oh no.
Hey, I hear somebody's having a birthday.
Oh yes.
I hope it's truly, truly, truly outrageous, Scruffy. And it was lovely getting to do the podcast with you. And hi and happy birthday from Jem. And have a blessed year ahead. It's gonna be a good one. Bye.
That is awesome.
Aw.
I thought dug that up from the archive.
Dug deep for that one.
Right? Yeah. What do you think I've been doing? I've been asking you guys just to talk for a while so that I can find that file.
Well, it's like he is suspiciously busy, but maybe something's going on.
Mhm.
You know, maybe it's the work phone or something. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
let's keep this rolling.
No. But yeah, let's start off with so what was something that took you completely by surprise? Like something you had no idea this would be a thing and you were just like, huh.
Nerds.
Yeah, nerds never cease to surprise me. I mean, I feel like there's kind of this like, I don't know, stigma about actors being just kind of like, I don't know, not really giving people the time of day. But I feel like a lot of the people that we met were like Katee was great. Like a lot of these people are actually just like people. They're just really down to earth, you know. I think that kind of surprised me a lot. But like, it was really cool. It was really cool to see that because like I said, Katee was great. Renna was really cool to talk to.
Oh,
she was she was great.
There's Renna Owen right there. For those that don't know, Renna Owen played Tan Wei. She was also in the Orville. And she's going to be the grandmother role in the upcoming live action Moana coming out next year. But yeah, Renna, definitely. I think Renna was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, right at the mention there, it was cool because like I sat in. I wasn't in the actual interview, but I sat in and watched, and then I talked to her a little bit afterwards, maybe like 5 minutes. And then at the end of the convention, we were walking the rows, and she was like, "Hey, where have you been? Like, let's get a photo." And, like, prompted, which was really cool. We had a little bit more of a discussion, and that was really cool. She was very kind. So.
Oh,
yeah.
The other thing you learned is that Scruffy really doesn't drive all that bad. It's just these guys drive really slow.
Honestly, yeah, these people were rude. You know what I mean? Just not getting out of your way, moving way too slow.
Well, that too, but you know, it's true that DB is a 90-year-old man and a 55-year-old man body.
You know,
I really don't drive that fast.
I will give credit where credit's due. I know we give Scruffy a lot of guff on this show about his driving, but I mean, he gets us there safely every year.
It has mellowed over the years.
It has mellowed a little bit. And I understand that I do also understand now why there are drivers or that there are drivers that lane assist was designed for. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes.
But no, Scruffy does an amazing job every year. We give him crap.
Well,
he
also
does an amazing year getting us down there safely and getting us home safely.
It's also got something to do with it's a Subaru Outback, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not a Corvette.
You've got some safety parameters built in.
Yeah, and it's not a gas pedal. It's a volume control.
Right.
It doesn't go any faster. It just makes more noise.
The main question I've got is, does your Subaru have like any built-in defense system against playing Guns N' Roses? Because like
I am still suspicious of that because I obviously I've been in my car since we got back, and suddenly I hear Guns N' Roses again.
Okay, so funny story.
If I didn't know any better,
it does seem awfully suspicious.
To catch everybody up, what we're talking about is
yes, please.
So Scruffy knows I am not a fan of Guns N' Roses.
You're not a fan of Axl
Rose.
That's true.
I can agree.
True enough. Yeah. I don't like hearing strangled cats. Slash, on the other hand, love Slash. I've seen him in concert.
Slash is epic.
Love when he tours with Miles Kennedy. I will hit that show because that is an amazing show. They do some great covers of Velvet Revolver and some of the other stuff, and a few GNR songs. I don't mind the music. What I hate is, I don't use the word hate very often.
No, you don't.
But I do use it with Axl Rose, and I'm just not a fan. But anyway, Scruffy knows this. On trips, he's always been so gracious as a host driver that he will, if a GNR song comes up, he automatically skips forward on and he's got a little thumb drive that he plugs in that he I think he's got probably
or
10
anything
10 gajillion songs on that thumb drive.
723.
Is that all?
723 songs.
Gigs?
That sounds right.
I cannot listen to one song or the same song twice if I just let it go straight through the list.
Yeah.
That is over 40 hours of music.
Right.
That was 48 hours or 24 hours between driving down and driving back.
So
how many Guns N' Roses songs did we
okay,
hear?
that's what we're getting to. So Scruffy is always great at fast forwarding, and the whole drive down, not a single one came up in rotation. And I mean, it was suspiciously weird. Like, and so where Scruffy was accusing me the whole con of doing something because my Jeremiah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that can't stand Axl Rose. Right on.
Whatever, everybody. Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear you did. But I knew that. Yes, I knew that wasn't quite possible, but I was still semi-suspicious.
It was something we talked about all con because there was one stop. Okay, so right after we picked up Brownie 1 where he lived, we ran through McDonald's and ran inside for a quick breakfast on the road, and I borrowed Scruffy's keys because I had to go get my water bottle.
Keys
because I had to go get my water bottle, and while we were choking down Egg McMuffins, and so that he harped on that the whole rest of the trip about me going out and manipulating something with his thumb drive, whether I swapped him, whether I broke into the software on a Subaru somehow and installed some sort of algorithm to screw.
I won't say I'm still not somewhat suspicious, but whatever.
And to be honest, I don't blame him for being suspicious because it was really weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna do next year is I'm gonna load up 2 thumb drives, one with the standard playlist and one with nothing but GNR. I'm gonna plug that bad boy in and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. So it was so we didn't hear any GNR the whole drive down.
And I always fast forward to anything too twangy too.
Too twangy, yes.
Yes.
Well, why do you have it on your thumb drive if it's too twangy for you?
I like twangy music. Okay. I like all music. I just can't do opera.
Right.
Okay.
I get that.
But I can do it. I can do just about anything. I've got there's just about everything on the thumb drive. Classical, old bluegrass, contemporary, Christian, modern, old gospel. I love all that stuff.
Right on. So okay, so we drove down on Thursday. Let's do a play-by-play like we do, like it's an episode review. And we drove down on Thursday, picked up Brownie 1, headed down. Stopped at McDonald's.
Had my thumb drive messed with.
Yep.
Last year, for those of you that follow us know, last year we had made it a mission to stop at 5 Ollies on the way down. And after 3, we were like, this is taking way too long. It was turning
too long.
It was turning an 11-hour trip into like a 15-hour trip. And we were like,
it was dark. It was dark when we got down.
It was. And it was, we ended up with like 3 on the way down because after 3, but this year Scruff was like, it's gas and go, gas and go, gas and go. We're not stopping. We did convince them to stop in Kokomo for DB.
It didn't take much because I'm like, okay, I got to get out of this car for a little bit.
Yeah. And Kokomo is about roughly halfway for us. So that was a good stopping point. I know DB picked up a few things. I picked up a bag of action figures that put them all out on our table just to see if if we had kids come in. And that's something, for you podcasters, if you go to ICCC, get connected with the podcast crew because we get a table, we get free airtime, and it is really one of the untapped resources of this con that they're so gracious to give. They give free press passes, and a lot of podcasters will do their own thing. You see their vlogs up, you see that kind of thing, and a lot of them don't come into the podcast room, and it's a whole nother missed resource because it's not only just the free airtime, the table, the stuff like that, but it's networking. And like, we've really become good friends with ECPC TV and Mike the Mic guy and his crew, Andy, and it's a community. We're building a community. And for you other podcasters out there that go to ICCC, I would strongly suggest come in, get your free airtime. You can broadcast it right out to your channels, and you meet a lot of cool people. I think next year we'll talk to Mike and see about maybe just chipping in ourselves and helping get some signage for outside the room to advertise the room more, because 15-minute interviews, if you go back to our live tab on here on YouTube, you'll see all of our, except for Warwick's, I got to get that one up, but you'll see all of our live interviews that we did. And the main stage there, which is about a 45-minute presentation, those are recorded but not aired right away. They go and edit it, put out a nice finished product. These live streams are they're live. That's exactly what the podcast room is. It's a lot of fun, a lot of hilarity. This year's topic was Skeleton Crew. We always pick a topic every year and debate it. This year it was Skeleton Crew, and it's a really good time. And I think we need to get that room more publicity, because attendance is always low. I think the biggest turnout was Katee, obviously, but even then it wasn't even half full, I don't think. And I think a lot of people missed great opportunities for Warwick, for Katee, for Roger Christian, for Brownie One's favorite Paige Turco, for the Shredder and
wish I'd sat out of that interview.
Shredder and Splinter. I mean, just such great, quick interviews. It doesn't take a long time. You come in, enjoy a few laughs, see your celebrities close up, and then you can move on with the con. And it's really, we'll do the sales pitch again next year for it. But yeah, we should definitely, Mike, if you're listening, let's get together. Let's throw some signage together. Let's we'll chip in and we'll figure something out and get that room a little bit more publicity.
Absolutely.
Because we love an audience. There was sometimes people would come in, and that's the other thing about the live stream is we participate with the audience if there's one in the room. And
if not, then we end up picking on the odd guy out about how he says Harry Potter. Yeah,
Right.
that was a little savage. I didn't jump on that. I pounced on it.
That was a little brutal. Yeah.
Poor guy.
You just kept trying to talk and like.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I do love you, man.
Get a word out.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
But yeah, it's so anyway, Thursday we drove down, we got there before the sunset. We went stocked up on groceries. Embassy Suites. So Embassy Suites, I want to show this picture. It was 10 floors all around a central courtyard, and what a great venue for room sales. I mean,
it was awesome.
What a cool format to be able to just walk basically along the whole, whole patio structure in a way. 10 floors of it, room sales. I felt bad for the other guests that were there, not realizing they were checking into a Star Wars convention hotel, and
a big nerd fest, yeah.
Right. And it was fun. We were on the second floor, which actually I enjoyed. I think that was really if it's there again, I think we'll definitely request second floor. I think that was the way to go.
Yeah, definitely, because if the elevators were busy, you could walk up the stairs.
Exactly. So we got there, we got stocked up. It's a 2-room suite, which was really nice. I don't have any pictures, I don't think.
Well, those pictures we'll leave. We'll leave those ones out.
So yeah, we just basically got ready, and then we vendors were setting up still for the convention, because it started on Friday morning, or Friday closer to midday, and that was here, see if actually let me take that picture down and see if so that's like just the living room, and then the bedroom is back behind there. And
that was nice.
It was a really
separate living room / bedroom.
Yep.
Cool setup.
The food, again, we checked in. We didn't check out until Monday. We didn't leave the property. And that 2-room setup was perfect because we went and stocked up on groceries. The food there at the restaurants were great, but, you can only eat at a restaurant so often. So we definitely also, stocked up on some of our own food, and that was really nice. It was a great setup for a 3-day event. Even a 4-day event would be good there. But yeah, and then we walked the convention floor while people were still setting up. And I may have procured my first item that night, thanks to our friend Scott Baker at My 2D Heroes.
Yes.
Got
cool.
my giant R5. And so that was pretty cool. Checked out the podcast room, checked in with Jim, saw the space, took some of our stuff down there to claim a table and start getting set up. And yeah, that was pretty much the first day. Lots of drive-in. We stopped and visited the Beaver.
Oh, Buc-ee's. Absolutely.
Buc-ee's. So
Well, Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. I forgot to get my diabetes in a bag, otherwise known as beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets. Yeah.
I don't know what they are other than they're caramely. They're basically just exactly that.
Sugar.
Diabetes in a bag. Yeah.
diabetes bag. This is a picture of us visiting Buc-ee's. This was on the way home, but
Oh, we got a fan. Yes. She's pretty happy with that picture.
She was. So, then Friday morning, first day of the con, we got up, and another awesome thing about Embassy Suites is they do a free breakfast buffet as the part of the cost of your room.
Omelet.
And the omelet bar,
Phenomenal.
props to the ladies working behind the omelet bar. They were the MVPs every morning for sure. And it was nice. That number 3 omelet, that was the way to go.
Absolutely.
Right on.
My Denver omelet every morning. It was epic.
Yep. So Friday we got some interviews in, and let's see if we've got some pictures here. So first interview we got to do was Roger Christian, and this guy was one of my top things I wanted to make a connection with, and I was really hoping to do his interview, and ECPC TV was great enough to let Scruffy and I sit in. And for those of you that don't know who Roger Christian is, you definitely need to look him up. Roger Christian is the prop builder, set designer that built a lot of the props that we love as fans. So Hans
Lightsabers, Hans Blaster. He designed an Alstromos for Alien.
Yeah.
Yep.
R2D2.
R2D2. And he's got a book out, which
the binoculars that there we go.
Hell yeah.
The binoculars Luke is looking through.
That's one of the lightsabers that he had with him. Both Scruffy and I were. Is it?
The land speeder too.
The land speeder as well. So both Scruffy and I got our pictures with it. We made a great connection with Roger. He really enjoyed it. He wants to come on the show at some point, so we're working on setting up a date with him so that we can get him onto the show, because he literally 15 minutes wasn't enough. He was like, I'll talk for hours if you want me to. And
we'll let him talk for hours.
We will.
We had some great great just in the 15 minutes we had with him, and that's on our live tab, by the way. I have a new adjective. There it is. Cinema Alchemist. Roger Christian. Definitely check that book out. I have a new adjective to describe Alien, which is claustrophobic.
Yes.
Based on that interview with him. And when he described the bridge of the Nostromo, and that was the feeling they were going for, it made so much. Max Rebo, welcome, sir. Welcome to the show. Claustrophobic definitely fits it fits the feel, and that is now my new adjective for you good, Scruff?
Yeah. Just strange noises from upstairs I've never heard before. And as a homeowner, that's never a good thing.
No.
I'm just gonna ignore that. Let's turn some music on. Let's get something going so I can drown that out.
Right.
I was thinking about little Guns N' Roses.
I was gotta skip past 100 songs first.
The next interview that Brownie 1 got to sit in on was Andy Sackhoff, who is the voice of Watto.
Yeah, that was an awesome interview.
That was great. The voice actors were really fun to talk to.
Tell us a little bit about that interview, Brownie 1.
It was cool. Yeah. So he, first of all, I mean, it was just great getting to hear him actually do the voice in the interview. But even talking to about his experience sort of leading up to that, what he was doing beforehand, prior to that, and how he kind of got into Star Wars was cool. And then just getting to hear about how they even came up with kind of the voice, how because he did the voice, but beforehand he kind of led into it with what they had kind of been going for initially and what kind of worked and what didn't work until they kind of found the voice. And that was just kind of cool to hear about, I think. And just kind of getting cool. It was just cool to talk to the face behind the voice,
Right on. The next interview we got to do sit in on after that was, and I don't know if we downloaded a picture of this one, Lewis McLeod. and he is the voice.
I
go
think
ahead.
DB has those pictures.
I know I've got some on my phone. He is the voice of Sebulba, and that was a hilarious interview. The guy, and he does not just Sebulba, but he's really a full-time voice actor and has done a ton of stuff. And there's us with him, and all these pictures you can find on our social. I posted them like crazy on all of our socials, so you can definitely see all these pictures there. But yeah, Lewis McLeod, and he is and actually here is Brownie 1 and Andy Sackhoff, the voice of Watto, and the that was a hilarious. That's another interview that could have gone on for 45 minutes, and I would have been happy
Easily.
and hearing him, because we got to ask him about the development of the Sebulba voice, and I had not made the connection how similar it was to a Hut voice until he was describing it there at the table. And I was like, duh, of course, and I was like, that makes so much sense now, why it sounds so good. And it's something familiar, but different. Right. And,
well, because like it kind of had like, there was sort of like two parts to it. Because like there was sort of a higher kind of pitch when he's doing more of the noises, and like a deeper when he's kind of speaking, so there's kind of two, like, I don't know, approaches to it. So it was kind of cool to hear him do both.
Yeah, exactly. And then
it was also really funny to hear him do an impression of George Lucas.
Yes,
his George Lucas impression was awesome.
And who else did he? Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg, yeah. Spielberg's was great, but George Lucas's was awesome because it was so spot on.
Yeah.
And then let's see, bringing up the schedule again. Rena Owen, we did not interview Rena Owen, but like we were talking about, Rena was amazing, and Rena is somebody again that I would love to talk to, and we're working on that interview as well. And she and Brownie 1 really made a connection that's what he was referring to. One of the things he was referring to about how a lot of the actors, and this goes to the credit of Mike, right? So Mike has always talked about, he goes after the actors that are going to be good and friendly with the fans, very fan friendly. And Rena was definitely that. And if we can get her on the show at some point, I would love to talk to her about her arc in Orville. Her character is a true definition of a strong female character in that show, and I think they did her character justice with her role, and I'd love to talk to her about that if we get the chance to have her on at some point.
Her Orville work I would love to hear more about.
And then yeah, that was pretty much the big celebrity interviews for the day. We hit the floor a lot. Saw some things. Henry, Brownie 1, how'd you feel about the day one activities that we had that day?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the interviews were probably like the coolest thing I think we got to do. There's plenty to see on the floor, of course, but like I don't know, just getting to hear them talk about their experiences was probably my favorite part of it. Definitely the most interactive and the most like interesting, because there's stuff that you just don't expect, out of that, and that's really cool.
Right.
Outside of that, I mean, it was cool to go sort of shop the floor a little bit. There was, I don't know if he was one of the guys with Theory Sabers, but there was somebody in full like Darth Maul cosplay, and he did a little like fake duel with Starkiller. Somebody was dressed up in the Starkiller armor.
Yeah,
Force Unleashed. And so that was cool to get like footage of that, because for the first and like second day I was getting a little bit of footage here and there. And that was just kind of fun to sort of walk around and see everything that was like there.
Right.
And just kind of getting to see people, like there was a Twi'lek that was like 10 feet tall. Just like the randomest but coolest stuff, because people really went all out. There was a Wampa,
that Wampa was amazing.
The costumes was pretty neat.
Right on.
There was somebody from Mars Attacks there too. one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was outstanding.
that was great.
That was cool.
That was a thing. of beauty.
I forgot I have GoPro footage.
You do. You got
Yeah.
GoPro footage. You got to learn how to
Remember-
video edit. Yeah.
What? Is that so? So is that I could just plug it in and go Hufflepuff and everything's fine?
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Huffle-
All right. Excellent.
So Brownie one was grabbed a lot of B-roll footage for us while we were down there, and what we're going to exactly do with that B-roll footage, I'm not sure yet.
I've got to look at it first. I don't even. I totally forgot about it till just
Yeah.
now.
So
Mhm.
Scruffy's got a GoPro, and we played with that. We also got a little bit on my phone that we'll have to get together with it. And the other thing that we did Friday night was we went and saw Katee Sackhoff recorded a episode of her show.
Yes, that was awesome.
Interviewing Brendan Wayne,
That's right.
and the three of us definitely went and attended that. So
What'd you think of that, Brown Leader?
that was good. It was good. Learned some things. So definitely, learn some cool stuff about Mando. I will never look at the scene where finale.
Well,
the
where he
fi-
dives.
Yeah, where he dives to save Grogu in the finale against Moff Gideon's blaster shot. Knowing the backstory now of what Brendan was going through during that scene, and just stunning. And I really learned to respect Brendan's. So Brendan, we all know there's multiple people that wear the suit. Brendan is in it probably 90% plus of the time. And Lateef does a lot of the hand-to-hand part. They did drop a nugget that in the Mando Grogu movie, there's going to be a cool, Lateef does as Brendan described it, a very cool parkour scene, in action scene in the movie. But the Brendan is Mando, right? He is Mando 90+% of the time. And his reverence for the character was one of the things that struck me. He's written the Mando Bible in terms of what the character is, what he does, how he moves, what he says, how he his body mechanics, everything, so that whoever's in the suit can continue on in proper continuity with the character. He absolutely lives, breathes, and eats this character. He loves this character, and I found a new respect for that. It was also funny to hear him and Katee talk about, because when they film it, he's the one, just like Prowse was saying all the lines for Vader when they filmed A New Hope and Empire and Return of the Jedi, and then it was James Earl Jones's voice dubbed over, and it was funny to hear Katee ask Brendan, "Well, do you watch the episodes when they air?" And he said sometimes he'll listen to it with the volume off and can recite the lines line for line, and it's and to hear what subtle differences sometimes they'll have Pedro do, to maybe the inflection changes a little bit, but he gave Pedro a lot of kudos in terms of how the finished product pops out. But yeah, just what Brendan goes through for that character, and then that whole kind of thing was what I enjoyed from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was like funny to hear about like that. They had to like change some of the lines every now and again just to make it work, because like they went into it with like what was originally like scripted, and they had to like shift it around. Maybe it was because of the pacing or the editing or whatnot, but yeah, it was really crazy to hear about. I really respected the fact that he had like just an entire like book dedicated to like, he can never have stuff in his right hand because that's his gunslinging hand.
Right.
Like all these little things that you don't think about that.
He needs to publish that book.
He does.
Agreed. Yeah,
I would love to read that.
Mike the Mike Guy, welcome to the show, sir. And yeah, the scene looks absolutely insane from the teaser for the upcoming Mando movie.
Now, speaking of Mandalorian, is Barry Lowen one of the autographs you need?
So he's credited with wearing the suit. I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? So, and I'll show that now. One of the things that I got autographed, I got this Mando at Motor City Con, and it's kind of hard to see. If you go to our social media, you can find a better picture of it. But my goal is to have everybody that wore the suit autograph this. And when I was explaining that to Brendan and I mentioned Barry's name, he really didn't react to it. He pretty much just talked about him and Lateef. And so I don't know if like Barry was a one-day stand-in or just I want to find some more history. But Brendan signed this for me. He also put because I told him I want to get Lateef's. So he said, okay, I'm going to write part of a phrase. Lateef knows what to do. Show him that I signed it and he'll know what to do. So Brendan signed it and he said, I can bring you in warm. And I'm assuming that when Lateef signs it, he's going to write in, or I can bring you in cold, which is going to be very cool. But yeah, this was one of the things that I took down with me to have, because I'd like to get all the actors that have worn the suit to autograph this.
That would be a pretty awesome piece.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then eventually, obviously mount it once I get this room converted over.
Yeah.
But
Mike the Mike guy, I think he was only one episode.
Could be
Yeah,
wrong.
we're gonna have to do some digging on that one.
Yeah,
he's at Capital City Comic Con this coming here in the next couple months, and you're never gonna get him closer than that.
Right. So the Mando's a big enough for an HOV lane. Yes, right on Max Rebo for sure. So that was day one. We had a lot of fun. And just again, the celebrities stayed at the hotel. So we definitely saw Warwick going out to his car when he was going out to dinner, coming back. The smoking bench was again the place to be. I wish DB was here to talk a little bit about that.
We probably would know.
Yeah,
we probably don't want to air that one.
Right. But well, I mean, we made a lot of connections. Towards the end of the show, we got a great little wrap up. We had a fun little wrap up session with Mike and like the head of his security, and then one of the other guys that works the show, and got to hear some behind the scenes stuff, which was pretty cool as well. None of it, which we'll go over here, other than the fact that they were talking about how Katee was absolutely one of the nicest celebrities they've had at the show in terms of her respect for the workers and the fans. Being on time. One of the things they talked about was how on time she is for everything, car pickup, everything, and how much. And if she was running a minute late, she would apologize and be like, "I'm so sorry," and just how disciplined she is. And
she for the autograph line, she was spot on.
Yeah.
And I'm used to standing around an extra 10, 15 minutes waiting. But
right.
No, he was there.
Mm-hmm.
She truly is a beautiful human being. Very polite. Yeah. She talks to you, not at you. Mm-hmm. She's just a beautiful person all around.
Right on. Okay, day 2, Saturday, the long day. And somebody else I want to give shout out props to, HollowNet99. So we follow each other on social, on I want to say Instagram, and he was working security for the con, and it took me a minute to realize who it was, but anytime we would go in early before the con started, with our press badges and everything, he would just give us that nod. And it was really funny because it was always like, Ubaldo, welcome to the show tonight, sir. This guy, the same guy at the security check-in, would always be like, he'd just give me the nod and we'd just walk on by. And I was like, why do I know him? And Star Trek reference. And then I connected it with the social media, and but it was one of those downward nods, which is like somebody that or you respect, and not the upwards nod that guys do if we're not so sure who you are or new to us or something. But yeah, what's up? What's up? Turn the lights out.
Let me leave first.
Oh, creepy.
So he was giving me the nod right as we're walking through it, and I connected it on the second day, and but he was very cool. Always waved us right through security. Great guy. We could get in when we needed to. Didn't have to wait through any lines, which was awesome. So HollowNet99, you're the G. So thank you for that. But so day 2 was the busy day. Scruffy went and got in line with Scruffy
not giving anybody a satisfaction today.
Scruffy and DB got in line right away to get Katie's before the day got too busy for her.
Well, I had been standing there for a good 45 minutes, and finally I'm like, hey, come join me because I'm bored.
Yeah.
And I need somebody to talk to. More or less why I told him to get over there.
Right.
So he did come wander up, and I'm thankful I did because he's my evidence.
Your witness.
Yeah.
My witness.
Because at approximately 10:05.
10:05. Oh no, 9:05. 9:05.
9:05. We'll say 9:05 is when the most momentous occasion of the con
Ever.
occurred.
Yeah, just in history of ever.
Exactly.
And-
Thank you. Of history.
Scruffy, I'll let you give the play by
Oh,
play.
wait, the legendary recognition
occurred.
Yes, it did. So I walk up. Katee Sackhoff sits down. She's, says hi to everybody in line there, and she gets her stuff ready. And they move me up to. I was first in line, so they moved me up in front of her, and she looks up at me, says hi, looks down, stops, looks back up at me. Have I met you before? Have we met before? Like, why, yes, we have. Celebration Chicago 2019. Oh, yeah, you're the guy with the podcast. Epic moment.
Mm-hmm.
Epic moment. Katee Sackhoff remembered. So I just wanted to put that out there, everybody that's listening. Katee Sackhoff remembered me. All right, Scruffy's out.
We'll see you later.
See you later. So that was the whole point of him being on the show. Took us 45 minutes to get to this moment, but
I've been chomping at the bit the whole time, so I'm good now. See you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
You said your piece. If Scruffy wasn't a celebrity before, he definitely is now.
Mm-hmm.
I was a celebrity before, but now more so. Yes.
So so Scruffy had the moment of the con for sure.
I mean,
the
the podcast theme song is "It's Raining Scruffy," so
that's true. Yeah,
we're changing it from raining as in precipitation to raining as in king.
He is the king.
It's raining Scruffy.
Mm-hmm.
Scruffy.
Raining Scruffy. So she bet 99.
That's true.
She probably did.
One.
And she remembered.
And will Scruffy be signing autographs Celebration 2027? Yes, I will.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
I will.
I'm gonna be first in line.
I don't charge.
May have to start
I don't charge. I might start charging a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So later that morning, also is when I went and got Brendan's autograph, and we did a selfie. Brownie one and I did a selfie with Brendan. Super nice guy, like I said. Also right now this Tuesday, Katie's regular show, the full interview. She recorded several weeks ago. She recorded a longer interview with Brendan, and she just dropped that this week. So definitely recommend you go check that out, because you'll find even more behind the scenes stuff where they go in more in depth behind the scene stuff with what Brendan was going through. Short story is, when they started filming season 2, he had been in the hospital and died 3 times or something in the hospital, and got out 10 days before they started shooting season 2. So, and that first scene was the diving scene with his guts literally taped inside his body. So it was, definitely go check that out. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. I have not had a chance to listen to it myself, but it is on my queue to listen to. So, but yeah, we got our autographs that morning, got the big ones knocked out, and that we wanted to make sure before they got too busy. Also talked to somebody, Brendan's representation. So we may be working on some things for a future episode. So fingers crossed that goes well.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to possibly having Brendan on the show.
Isn't he Rena's
as well? And I did. The next day I kind of schmoozed the rep a little bit, and I was like, so how you enjoying the show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really looking forward to hopefully getting to set up an interview with Brendan. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then I said, who else you representing? And he named a few more names. Yeah. And we're gonna work on it. I'm gonna send him some clips of the show, and we'll see. So we could potentially, fingers crossed, have four current actresses.
And you're gonna find some clips of the show where I'm behaving, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna pull from Paul. I'm gonna pull from Paul's episode. Chris Bartlett's episode is a great episode, yes. Right? and Vanessa's, you know, to show them we can talk to celebrities without misbehaving too badly.
And
So,
don't forget,
Hope it's paid
don't
too
forget
bad.
this episode. You guys are talking
Yeah.
to me.
gonna have to send-
we
yeah.
can tell we know Max Rebo.
tell them you know Max
Mhm.
Rebo,
Yeah,
right on.
right.
Absolutely.
So fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to be working on that stuff behind the scenes. So hopefully on an episode coming sometime in the future, we'll get some more Star Wars actors and actresses on the show. But that was the big day in the podcast room as well.
I'm glad you took notes of what was happening every day. I just walked around trying to spend money.
Every morning we got up on stage, first episode of the day with the collective kickoff, talking about what was going on that day. Those were very funny episodes. Mike the Mike guy, our buddy, had his podcast at 10:30. We followed him up at 11. And then immediately following our episode, we were the unofficial Katee Sackhoff pre-show because following our live stream on Saturday was Katee Sackhoff's interview.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Doesn't get it. And Scruffy and I were lucky enough to join ECPC TV on stage and to sit with her. It's on our live tab. So click on over to YouTube, go to our live tab. The Katee Sackhoff interview is there, all 15 minutes of it. And she's just amazing to talk to. Absolutely nice. We each got it was pretty much only enough time for one question. She gets asked a ton of Star Wars, which, you know, she was already getting asked. So Scruffy and I kind of went off the beaten path. You asked her about what was the horror movie she was in?
Oh, she was in a horror movie called Oculus, and I loved that movie because it was different. It wasn't a typical horror slasher movie. It was a movie about a possessed mirror. And I absolutely loved that movie because it was different. It wasn't the typical horror movie.
Right.
And she did an awesome job in that movie.
I asked her about Another Life, which was a Netflix show that she did a couple years ago. And it was funny because I was going to describe it the same way she ended up describing it, which was, it was really cool because she talked about, she's at a point in her career where she's choosing the projects that she wants to work on. And she grew up on 80s movies like we did. She's not much younger than Scruffy and I. And she loves doing films. She loves the efficiency of 80s films because you get 2, 3, 4 minutes of dialogue, sets up the characters, sets up the premise, and you, as she describes it, goes with the story. They have their adventure, whatever it is they do. In Another Life, she goes, I've had physicists that come up to me and say, well, you know, it technically wouldn't work like that. And da, da, da. And she's like, as she described it, which is how I wanted to describe it to her, which was, it's a popcorn show. It's something you just kick back eat the popcorn and you just enjoy it. You don't overanalyze it. And I could tell, and I asked about that show because it just felt like she was having fun with that show when she did it for Netflix and had those feelings confirmed. But
yeah, I would love to talk to her again because I wanted to ask her about the Big Bang Theory. She had a couple episodes in the Big Bang Theory where she's part of Howard Wolowitz's fantasy. And I always wanted to ask her, are those scenes as creepy to film as they were shoot as they were to watch?
So they talk about them a little bit in her episode 2 weeks ago with Will Wheaton, because Will has been on Big Bang Theory even more.
Absolutely.
And they talk a little bit about that in that episode. So then I would call this definitely another top 5 moment of the con for us. So immediately following the con or her interview, so one of the other bonuses of working the podcast stage is you get group photos with all the celebrities that are being interviewed. And we did the group photo. I'll bring that up. So we definitely got in on a group interview with Katee. There's another picture that I don't have it on here, but where we get the whole crew in there. But one of the top 5 moments that came up after that was
yes.
So some of you know, Scruffy and I got our picture with Katee back in 2019 at Star Wars Celebration. And so Scruffy printed another copy of that picture and we autographed it from Hyperspace Heroes to Katee, and we presented it to her here, as you can see. And you can see her reaction from that receiving our autograph. And if that's not a top 5 moment of the con, I don't know what
a top 5 moment ever.
Right?
Legendary.
Yeah. And she took it with her. It was not now it could be in a trash bin in her hotel room. I don't know.
Hey, I don't care.
It left the room. I'm happy.
Yeah.
They made
know.
it into her bag and she left the room with it. So hey, what she
Right.
did with it after that, I don't care.
Right.
I have the picture showing we gave it to her.
Yep.
After that interview, we got to do another interview, and those of you know her as April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Younger fans, if you watched the CW's 100, she was Clark's mom. But we got to interview Paige Turco, and so that was a good interview. It was an interesting interview, we'll say that, and she's an interesting lady. I will. The interview is on the live tab on our YouTube, so check it out. But kept ran into her a few times during the con, and
Maybe ran into her a couple times.
Yeah, definitely. One of his frequent haunts. So, let's see, what else was that day? That was the long day. So, and then, okay. So then, a little while later, Brownie 1 and I got to, and actually, let me bring this up. So these are some pictures of us interviewing Katee from the stage, and there's DB just being a creeper and staring at her ankles. It just
being a big creeper.
Being a big creeper. So, but anyway, later in the day, Brownie 1 and I and Andy from Mike the Mike Guy's crew got to interview father and son Warwick and Harrison Davis, and this is his second year at the show, and I really like this picture. I think that's a fun picture.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that was another one where it was like ICCC TV crew did the interview last year with him, and I was hoping they'd kind of throw us that bone, and sure enough they did, and I love you guys for that. And so we got to interview Warwick, and that one is not on our live tab yet. I've got the footage. I'm gonna get that posted as soon as I can, and I'll do some social media posts to link to that. But you can find it on the ICCC YouTube. Or not YouTube, I think YouTube, and definitely their Facebook page. You can find that interview if you can't wait for me to get it posted. Check out the ICCC Facebook page and you'll find the interview there. But yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun. That was definitely one of those I didn't know if I'd ever get that interview kind of thing, and definitely jumped at the chance. And Brownie won. It was great. Father and son, getting to interview father and son. I really enjoyed that experience. What'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, definitely one of the coolest interviews. I mean, they were just funny to talk to as well. I mean, like, they were just so funny. Like, they had so many quick little one-liners that were just so off the cuff, and they were talking about Harry Potter for a minute there, I think, with Andy, and like that was cool to hear about. And like, I mean, just really, really cool guys to talk to, honestly.
I loved how Warwick started off. He's like, "Well, you guys didn't get to see the deleted scene where Harrison's character as an Ewok, because they filmed some stuff for the celebration scenes of it was Rise of Skywalker, when Palpatine is somehow defeated again, and
somehow defeated
again.
He's defeated again.
He'll get spider legs the next movie.
Yes,
he's being held up by spider legs this time. Next time they'll give him spider legs.
Yeah.
And talking about how Wicket, tells Pumba or whatever the character's name is, like, I am your father, and it just kind of recreating that scene from Return of the Jedi. That was a really fun. I did not expect that out of Warwick. He always looks
cut that scene.
He always looks so serious, but then he throws out those, like you said, those crazy one-liners. And
I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of intimidated when he first sat down. I didn't know how it was gonna go.
Right.
Like, we grabbed him the chair on the end, I think, and he just came up and sat in the middle. And so like we readjusted real quick and everything, and like, I was kind of nervous, but then like from there it was just like we were off to the races. We were having a good time and just shooting the shit. It was cool.
Right on. And so that was day 2. Also, it was a lot of trips to the convention floor, back and forth. That concluded our interviews that day. And then just a lot to do on the floor. They they had all the stars there from TMNT, a lot of the big stars from TMNT, and so they were doing a movie watch along. We didn't go attend that night, but we hit room sales instead, rotating through room sales. That's go eat dinner real quick and then hit room sales and do laps.
We tried to make a little detour to. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. One of my Jackson Army.
There you go. Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Oh, and yeah, so that was day 2. That was a lot of big interviews, a lot of things gained that day. Made a lot more connections. Found those. I think that was the day we found those 3D printer guys that were kind of fun.
Yes. Yeah.
And from Atlanta. Yep. There you go. And
C-3PO to go with my droid collection behind me.
Yep. Oh shoot, I've got.
Pretty excited about these ones.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they sold out of their helmets, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, they did a. I don't know where my box is. But yeah, they did a 3D print of these Mando helmets without just the shells. And they did a oh, there it is.
You find it?
I did.
All right, good.
All right. They did these shells of Mando helmets and no visors, no inner guts to them or anything, but with these cool scroll work patterns. And I was seriously ready to cave, and I'm like, you know what? I'll come back on Sunday. If they've got any left, maybe I'll make a deal with them. And they were sold out. By the time I went back to see them on Sunday, they were sold out.
Cleaned house.
And it was funny because like you guys just like Scruffy just showed that little 3D printed character of C-3PO. I got one of Mando because, of course. But here's the funny thing. So this box, they 3D printed this box, and I was like, that is cool. And I said, how much for the box? And they started laughing. They goes, and the one guy turns to his brother and he's like, see, another one. And I'm like, what another what? Well, these little things, basically, if you bought like 5 of these little characters, they would give you the box for free. And so I ended up buying 5 characters because I really wanted the box. But it's just a cool, I don't know. It's definitely got a Star Wars vibe to it, Star Wars feel, little storage container. Good amount of room.
What are we going to store in that?
I don't know. I got to figure that out. Right now, I just stored a bunch of the stuff I bought just to bring it home safely. But yeah, they were cool guys, and they said they're definitely going to be back next year with more Mando helmets and then maybe some Stormtrooper helmets, and they're really gonna load up. Brownie one, I hear you playing with one of the things.
Yep, one of my favorite things I got was a cute little wind-up Darth Vader. So like he'll just kind of,
those old enough will remember the old toy robots that had those little legs that moved like that, and that was from those 3D printers also. Did they make a Carson Tiva? No, not yet.
Hopefully.
There you go.
He's just chilling. He fell to the dark side.
So those guys were pretty good. That was the day we found those guys. Had a great conversation with them. We kept running into our buddy Steve Carbo all weekend. He's got Excalibur Con. If you're in Minnesota or feel like driving to Duluth in August, definitely go check out Excalibur Con. Steve Carbo puts that event on. It's the second year. Last year it was called TeebCon. He's got some amazing guests for year 2. So kudos to him.
We are looking at getting him on the show pretty soon.
Yep.
We're trying to confirm a date here with him, and as soon as I do, I'll get that out to everybody.
Right on. And yeah, so like I said, room sales, convention sales, definitely walked the areas a lot over and over that day. So any final thoughts on day 2 before we move on to day 3?
I have a few regrets, but I will live with my regrets, and a couple things I should have pulled the trigger on and bought, but I didn't. And But I came home with money, so hey.
Was that? Oh, they did floor sales Friday night too. That was the other thing. They always do floor sales.
Oh yes.
The lighting was not as good this year because of the way the lobby is down there.
Yeah, it's a little dark in here.
It was definitely
Yeah.
a little dark. It didn't feel like as many people brought their stuff down. They were leaving it up in their rooms. Because honestly, with that venue, I don't even know if you need to do floor sales. You just have
Just leave it in
everybody,
the rooms. Yep, leave it
yeah,
in the
have
rooms.
everybody focus on their rooms, and I think that's a cool enough vibe. All right, day 3, which was Sunday, a little bit shorter day, but the one
A
interview
little shorter, a little bit sadder because
Yep.
you know you're going home.
The 2 celebrities they had on stage that day were the podcast stage were Tim Effler, who we talked to last year, and you can find that on our live tab last year. It's better to regret a purchase than a non-purchase.
All right. Well, now I'm mad. Never mind.
Max,
Now I'm all
rewind.
bitter and mad.
Thank you, Max, for stirring him up. Appreciate that. Tim Effler was on the podcast stage, ECPC. We interviewed him last year. ECPC TV interviewed him this year. Great guy, toy designer. You can find
absolutely fascinating interviews.
Yeah.
To listen. It's fascinating listening to him.
You can find his you can find our interview with him on our live tab on our YouTube from last year. And then Paul Markham. We interviewed Paul Markham. Paul was an Imperial officer in the background of the scene where Emperor Palpatine arrives to the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. And he's had some parts in a lot of different franchises, if I'm not mistaken, right?
A lot.
Yeah, always kind of background characters. He was our final celebrity interview of the con. We did that on Saturday. You can find that one on our live tab on YouTube as well. So I love talking to people that are background characters, minor characters, and he is definitely one of them. So he was also part of a panel on the main stage with what was the guy's name? Michael Brown, who was one of the stormtroopers. He played a little bit more prominent role in Return of the Jedi. He was several different stormtroopers, I think, in the Endor stuff. He was pretty cool. I think I'm going to try to reach out to him. He seemed to it was his first con ever attending as a guest, and I think he had such a blast. I'm going to try to reach out to him here, see about getting him on the show at some point too. But yeah, that was our adventures on the podcast stage.
Well, we had the closing wrap up where we got on stage with ECPC TV, and Andy from Mike the Mike's Guys crew got up there, and I proceeded to jump on him, pounce, and just beat the poor guy up about how he says Harry Potter.
If I had known better, I would have thought he was wearing a hot dog costume the way you reacted with him. So,
yeah. Andy, I love you, bro. Sorry. I don't know what else to say, bro. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Right.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. There you go. But yeah, he said Harry Potter, and we just pounced.
Yeah, it left the Star Wars universe and jumped into the Harry Potter universe, and there it stayed for most of the closing ceremonies.
And poor Jim Orman's just sitting there shaking his head like, wow, did that derail fast?
Also, the other thing on day 2 I forgot to mention was the Skeleton Crew podcast. I mentioned it briefly earlier on in the show. So a couple of us got on stage with ECPC TV. Micah is not a fan of Skeleton Crew so much, and so we did a point counterpoint type of conversation with them to talk about Skeleton Crew. So every year we pick a topic, and that's kind of when there's an open time slot, maybe somebody doesn't show up, that kind of thing. We just have a discussion, and it's become a tradition now. Last year, it was Acolyte. Year before, it was fuel consumption in the galaxy far, far away. And so there was always fun and lively conversations that honestly could go for 45 minutes, easily, if not longer. So, but yeah, that was...
the Skeleton Crew take was terrible. We agree.
Yeah, we agree. So that was pretty much our time at ICCC. Monday we did the long, sad drive home. This was on our way home. Brownie won there, feeding the beaver, and Yeah, it was.
It was a sad drive home, but it's always good to get home.
Yeah.
It was more so sad drive for you two because you had to work the next day, and I didn't go back to work till Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One last picture I wanted to show that I think it's the only picture we haven't shown, which was Scruffy and Brownie 1 recreating the scene from the Titanic. Recreating the scene from the Titanic. I think that was like the 9th floor of the Embassy Suites.
Yes, it is.
And
It really felt like I was flying, honestly.
driving home thinking of what you left behind is the worst, right?
Well, okay.
So
yes, because I left behind a Luke Stormtrooper that I need to finish the collection. I left behind
that mic I found for you.
That mic I found was for me. Yes. I also left behind a Hoth attack base, a Hoth Probot set that I wanted to bring home but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a few more things that we won't talk about.
It was kind of funny. It's funny going 4 years in a row now. We can kind of see who's missing if they don't show up a particular year. You know, we're getting into that. Like even on the room sales, we're like, oh, that person wasn't here this year, or that person's new, and we're starting to get to know.
Absolutely.
Starting to get to know on the convention floor and in the room sales who's new and who's not. But yeah, let's flip over into.
I want it all. I want it all. I want it all.
All right, collection corner. So maybe you can visit it in Erie. Oh, maybe.
Yes, Blitz Transmission did buy the Hoth base. I said no, it went to a good home.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
collection
corner.
Collection corner. I'll start out real quick by saying we are at 80.
Yes.
We only need 20 more.
20 more.
Hell yeah.
I picked up a bunch of these. I need about a dozen more to fill my Rebel troop carrier. Pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I am one Jackson into a Jackson Army. I don't know how many of those I'll buy. I'm pretty sure that one's going to magically appear every once in a while, forever and ever, till death do us all part.
Now that we know there's an army being formed, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one is just a one, but two suddenly begins the start of an army.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, yes. Roger Christian, can't wait to start reading this. It's going to be an epic book to read. Super excited about that. I love these things. I'm still debating, and maybe everybody in the comment section can put an opinion in. These were the concept vehicles. This one was the Millennium Falcon.
I'm glad you showed that. I want to give a reminder. So that is the concept vehicle of the Millennium Falcon. Oh yeah, go ahead, Scruff.
And it goes with this. This was on my desk when I came in a couple days ago. This is absolutely awesome.
It's an autographed print from Colin Cantwell,
Yes.
who is no longer with us, RIP. And his estate still had some copies that they were selling off. And so that was Brown Leader's present to Scruffy for his birthday this year.
Love you, bro. I love that thing.
Hold on. Speaking of concept drawings, I just want to remind everybody that in maybe next week when we do our Andor wrap-up finale, we're going to be giving away a Colin Cantwell print of the Cantwell Cruiser from Andor Season 1. So make sure I'll definitely post on social about it. Follow us. You're going to want to jump in. We're going to give it away live during our Andor wrap-up episode. So make sure that you get in it for a chance at that. That's not something you're going to find at any convention, really. So it's an autographed print of the Cantwell Cruiser, or what has become the Cantwell Cruiser in Andor. So anyway, go ahead, Steph.
Oh, so let's see what else. Here's another one of those regrets. I bought the one. For some reason, I had it in my head that I had the other two. Guess what I do not have? So yeah, I have one box. It's just an empty Tops wax figure, wax Tops card package. I love it because looking at it just kind of brings me back to a nostalgic moment when I was 12 years old, and I miss those days sometimes.
Mhm.
Not to mention, look at the price, 25 cents. What can
Wow,
you buy for
that's
20?
cheap.
What can you buy for 25 cents nowadays?
Right?
I'll help you out with that. Nothing. What else today? Oh, we did pick up one of the 3 figures I needed to complete the collection.
Yes.
We did get EV99. I'm pretty happy with the purchase. It's got a little bit of a condition issue, but it displays beautifully. It's sitting in the shelf now. It's a very delicate, very fragile figure, so I'm pretty geeked to have it sitting in there. Oh, and Chewie.
Yes.
We got Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty geeked about that. Missing a couple of his grenades, but I can live with that. Oh, and some more droids to add to the droid collection.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That's a beautiful set right there.
that is a beautiful set, and that is not R5D4. That is R5SK1.
Okay. Right on.
Which I was. Oh, they're from Rogue One. These are the Rogue One figures.
Okay.
So also, I need somebody's help. Is somebody going to, or should I open these, or should I leave them in the package?
Ooh, good question.
Mm.
Everybody
So,
chime in on the chat.
Everybody chime in chat. Open, or should I leave them in the package?
Right on.
That's a good question.
All right, we'll do a opening show. Yeah.
There you
go.
A Jackson Army.
Oh, Jackson Army. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Maya gave us gave a couple of us, or me and Brown Leader, a Christmas present. Oh, there it is. Yes, I have one. He has one. Mine is a Stormtrooper. Brown Leader is a Mando. Yes, it's pretty awesome.
I won't have you done it right on.
Oh, and Max Rebo says open.
Right on. Okay. What else you got, sir?
I know that there's something else. I know I'm forgetting something, but for the sake of time here, let's move on.
All righty. So gotta find a picture of this.
Maya says open. That's 2 to open. Because I could put the concept Falcon here on the shelf with all my loose Macquarie concept figures.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the complete set of those.
So one of the first things I will show off is this.
Very nice.
I picked that up for Mrs. Brown Leader. She's got we've been looking for vintage R2 C3PO for her, and now we added the vintage Leia to her. She doesn't want very much, just wanted those few pieces.
I remember a time when Brown Leader didn't want much. He just wanted a couple R5D4s. So I'm looking to turn Mrs. Brown Leader into a collector as well.
You bite your tongue. This is an autograph from Sebulba, voice actor of Sebulba. Roger Christian, designer of the lightsaber hilt. Again, somebody we're working on getting on the show at some point. And for those of you that is the picture we autographed and gave to Katie from Star Wars Celebrations.
Epic.
But yeah, absolutely.
I didn't do any autographs this year other than the Katee Sackhoff for the Oh, that's right. I have the Clone Wars final season poster, and I did get Katee Sackhoff's autograph on there after getting Matt Lantner, or Ashley Eckstein, and
yeah, the poster. Yep.
Or James Arnold Taylor.
Yep. Okay, so in the bag of toys that I'll end up giving all these away. There's not figures that I want to keep, but in that bag, the ones that I did keep was IG-88, and he had most of his weapons. A Mando, because it's Bando.
It's Bando.
And then this guy who I had not seen before. And so an R5 type droid. Had not seen him. He was in the bag, and that's actually most of the reason I bought the bag, with the intent that we would give away the other ones at the con on our table. And I found at the con, funny enough, a carded version, because you got to have one to open and one to...
Absolutely.
We did research on the drive. We figured out that it is from a Star Tours. It's R5D2 and this is how he came packaged. And I didn't pay $15. I struck a deal with the guy. So because I got the loose one, I had to, pick up.
Absolutely.
Had to pick up the carded one. Picked up a Lucy on R5 for the Army. Picked up another carded one. Wasn't sure if I had this one already for the R5. This is going to be embarrassing. Picked up one in the case to keep it protected, because the glue goes on these pretty fast, it seems. So I picked up one where the glue seems to be pretty good. Another R5. And let's see, another R5 in the Mando series, because just because. And then picked this up on a room sale. This guy, R5 Boo 19. So you'll see Disney does these holiday themed ones they come out with. We had picked up this year's. I think this was from a couple years ago. We picked up the zombie one that they had done this year, because it was I got those for you guys. I think last Halloween season. And then
where's the birthday R5? Did you end up? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Cool.
This is the one where the glue dries out.
Yes.
This line is notoriously known for the glue wearing out on these. I've got one where I bought it at ICCC last year, actually, and the glue was already wearing out on it.
Yes.
Yes, it would. You got that right.
It'd be a great image.
It would be. And that's part of the reason. That's part of my adoration for R5 is I love the fact that he goes from blown motivator to being a reoccurring character to being an important character in the Mando series, and that's why I have really grown an affinity with R5 and have started army building. He's my guy now, but much to Scott Baker's chagrin, probably. But I did not buy any vintage ones this year. Didn't come across any that I liked at the price. So I skipped all the vintage ones this year that I saw. They had some nice clean ones, but and I don't know if you notice on this, but what Scott did when he designed this one, it's got the red bar. So
yes,
if you know, you know. Then R5 had more character development than the entire Acolyte. Picked up a shopping bag in one of the rooms for $1 to start carrying the stuff that I was picking up in room sales. But I like the design.
Nice.
It's got very cool. And we go shopping at Aldi a lot. I like Aldi, so probably going to start using it for that. And then let's see what else.
I did snag these two. I forgot about this. A blaster and a green saber for my Jedi Luke.
Oh,
the
yes,
the Unitoy version.
Yes,
I do have 4 different versions of that Luke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and then one of my other birthday presents from Scruff, and now I'm gonna have to find a reason to buy a tactical bag.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So got me these very cool patches. So definitely going to have to find a jacket and a tactical bag that I can start putting these on. Because I definitely want to represent faux show. And so thank you, Scruffy, for
Absolutely.
that. yeah, I think that's pretty much my haul.
Yeah, I know I'm forgetting something. I know I am.
You know what? I did get. Where did that go? I picked up a at Kokomo. I also found a Mudhorn.
Oh, the Funko Pop.
Yeah, Mudhorn Funko Pop, which, funny enough, is right here, and I already had one.
So, I cannot tell you how much that makes me happy. Also,
so funny. I didn't think I had that one. That's yeah.
That
I
makes me
know.
very happy.
Speaking of Funko Pop, that was the other thing. So last night of room sales, there was a room looking to just clear stuff out, and
oh, you picked up a couple of those.
Yeah. So Brownie 1's got one,
Yep.
and the guy was giving them away, practically giving them away cheap. I mean, so super cheap. It was a steal.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Brown Leader there picked up 2 of these. And he allowed me to choose which one I wanted to take home with me. So I decided on classic Boba.
Max Rebo, a fun Mudhorn giveaway.
maybe we'll have to do that.
Because we're all going through our collection, and if we have multiples of certain things, we're going to be letting them go.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
But yeah, that. I let Brownie 1 pick which one, and of course he picked the one I wanted, but I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him that night.
Of course not.
I'm kidding. But Brownie 1, how about you? This was your first con. What are your gains that you?
Well, I knew that I would be kind of kicking open a hornet's nest if I got anything, because like once I started, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to stop. But there were a couple of things that we got that were pretty cool. So there are a couple of comics like this one, which I just picked up. So there was like this little kind of just like spin the wheel kind of thing. And this was one of the things that we got, was just like a classic Mando comic, which is cool. I haven't looked through it yet, but I'm excited to.
That was a good series.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's also this guy, which is there's like some cool posters that they had too, and that was part of the the spinning wheel too. Very cool stormtrooper look. And then there's also, actually, this one was Dad's, but Brown Leader's, but I think he let me have it. It was this Darth Vader, which is also really cool. I love the color design on that. And then also, I don't remember if you remember Brown Leader. Was this the one from? There's this mall poster that he let me have, which has kind of got this like.
Yeah. I picked that up. I picked that up last year. It was in my autograph book when I brought my autograph book down. And I was like, you know what? I'm never going to get to hanging that up around here. And I know you love that kind of artwork as well. So I wanted to make sure it went somewhere that you could put that up on the wall and represent.
To a good place.
Yeah, I wish. I thought you found another one.
Nope.
I wish I had more wall space for art, but I'm pretty much tapped out. Not a whole lot of space left.
Yeah. Right. Oh, you know what? Well, you picked up the shirt, right? The hat. And,
yes. Yep. Of course.
Yep. So here's that Mudhorn I picked up in Kokomo that is identical to the one over there.
That one right there.
And then that was the other thing. So Blitz Transmission and his crew that he was hanging with had some also ridiculous sales for room sales, and picked up a diecast Hot Wheels Razor Crest. I might already have this one. I wasn't sure, but they were selling them for $5, and I was like,
"Got to be done.
Gotta do it."
Care. That's one of those. That's one of those. I will pick up a multiple for $5. And looking around, I don't think I have it, so I think that was a definite gain. And then this was something I bargained with the guy on. Box is a little banged up, but it's a 2-pack with R5 and the inferior R2 and
okay, you know what? Never mind. That's a future podcast. That's a future podcast.
Next episode.
You're getting ganged up on that one.
But yeah, little damage to the box here, but nothing. But I have 2 single R5s in the Funko, but I did not have this 2-pack. So because I'm building R5s. Yeah, Raccoon.
Yeah, so we came back a little lighter than we have in years past. We were a little wiser this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's mostly because we all know Celebration, the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, Celebration 2027 is coming, and none of us have won the lotto yet, so we got to start saving now.
Right. Exactly. So,
and, we got a comment here from Mr. Jeff Bussey.
Chicken burger. Yes.
Speaking of which, I did find some more. So,
Bantha burger.
Bantha burger. Yes.
Burger. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I got the TVC Red 5. I saw that on your post, sir.
Yes.
That is there any R5s that fit better in the socket than others? Probably vintage, right?
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
I haven't opened any. Well, I have a couple behind me, but I don't recall what's in there.
Yeah, because like this one, which was this Power of the Force or something?
Hold it up. Yes.
Yeah, so that one's not going to work because that middle leg doesn't, and then there's that band across that probably an older vintage one is what's going to work for that guy.
Yeah, you're definitely got to go with the vintage line on that, I think.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to go more vintage.
Well, even
probably.
the vintage line, the newer style vintage line, or the retro would probably be fine.
Okay, so probably we're
the one. The one.
I think probably that R5 cardboard cutout would probably be your best bet.
Yeah, there we go. So probably like that
one
from the Mando line.
Yep, that one there particularly.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that one might as well. It looks about the same size.
It might even be. Yeah, it might be the same sculpt, just a slightly different paint.
Yeah, antenna's a little longer. Colors are just different paint, a little bit shaping, details. This one's a little more detailed, so yeah.
Tohio. Oh, Tohio, yes.
Oh yeah. Right on. So
I would love to be there for that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's any final thoughts on the ICCC trip, guys?
It was an absolutely awesome time. I'm looking forward to next year, seeing what's going on. Hopefully, it's the same venue. I love that venue. I love the way everything was laid out. Everything was much closer, but yet we had a lot more space. Definitely do a little more pushing and advertising for that podcast room because it's a highly underutilized space for sure.
Yeah, did everything. Yeah, he said. Like, I think the room layout was great. I mean, the venue was awesome. It's really cool getting to meet everybody and like to have those discussions. I do also agree. I wish like more people were in the podcast room just because it was just a cool opportunity. And also Katee Sackhoff remembered Scruffy.
That's right.
Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to bring that up. I didn't want to bring that up one more time,
Right.
Steal the show, but since you did, yes, Katee Sackhoff did remember
me. You earned that one, man.
That was pretty epic.
Yeah.
And I am so glad DB was there to be my witness.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah, that's our ICCC 2025 wrap up for this year. Hope you enjoyed it. Carbonites, I know you're listening to the replay. Think about a vendor table next year.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
we would love to see you there now.
Yeah.
Think about a vendor table. And with that, you know where to find Hyperspace Heroes. We've gone long, so we'll skip dad joke of the week this week.
I think you sent one earlier today, so you're tapped out. The only thing you have left are 2 Ned Flander remarks.
Oakley dokley.
One.
But yeah, we'll I'm gonna play this one more time so we kind of start to set the mood of getting out of here.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Scruffy nerf herder.
Happy birthday to you.
Who knew Marilyn was singing to you? Who knew that?
I didn't know, but hey, I mean, yes.
So, all right. You know where to find us. You know where to find us on all of the social medias. Let's see if I can find this. So here we go. You can find us on X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. You can email us at brownsquadron@gmail.com. You can also find all of our links to everything that is Hyperspace Heroes and Brown Squadron at beacons.ai/Brown Squadron. Brownie One, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Sir, and hope
Good
you
to
had a
have you,
good
brother.
time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good to be here.
And
Can't wait for next year when we jump up on the 10th floor and recreate that picture again.
Oh, we're going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll just tear one of the doors off its hinges and recreate that scene instead. Right.
Oh, there was a pool there. There was a pool there.
Slowly, but we'll just keep coming back each year until we recreate the whole movie.
Will you let me go, or will you hold on to me?
I could never let you go, Scruffy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Scruffy. And
Thanks, guys.
yeah. So this is Brown Leader signing off for the crew. And Katee remembered Scruffy. And you have been listening and watching Hyperspace Heroes. That's no moon.
Was it good for you?